What are the best turntables of the year? Find out after a message from our sponsor, MPB.
The power to tell a story is in us all. The power to change the way we feel, our understanding. Change the rules, how we see ourselves. Provoke. Change history. Together, let's change the bigger picture. Change access. Put camera gear in more hands. And keep the story going. Buy, sell, and trade used camera gear. MPB.
Thanks to MPB for sponsoring the podcast. And joining me is hi-fi editor Ed Selley. Let's talk about turntables, the turntables of 2024. Still a big thing. Vinyl really has captured the hearts of a lot of people out there. And I think a lot of people in our generation who maybe did have a vinyl collection, got rid of it, and have decided to go back that way, or even people who are new to the format after all these years and coming to it and looking for a decent entry point and then maybe upgrading as time goes by. So what did we select in terms of our turntables of the year, and what were the categories?
We split it three ways: affordable, mid-range, and high-end. Affordable, and it's worth saying as well that the turntable category actually became I will be clear on this. I categorically stated it with our high-end turntable, which I'll come to, but it actually applies to all three of these. Each of these turntables turned up and was so convincing at their respective price points that it shaped just how hard I was going to look for more turntables to look at for the rest of the year. In the case of the Pro-Ject debut Evo 2, our best affordable turntable, it's £600. Now, you may query, is that truly affordable? I believe in this inflationary world it is. And when you look at how much it does and how well it does it and how much scope it has to be upgraded and boosted further, there's almost nothing to touch it. It truly is an example of Pro-Ject evolving, refining and enhancing a basic design which now dates back over a quarter of a century, and just extracting more and more performance. Everything that was good about the Evo, and there was a lot that was good about the Evo, is better in the Evo 2. It's better platter. They've improved the feet. They've improved the arm. What results is something that sounds unreasonably bloody good for £600. It comes in pretty much any color you could realistically want. They don't make a pink one yet. That's about as far as I can criticize it for colors. But almost everything else is catered for. It's incredibly easy to set up and use. It can be upgraded further. We have an article about upgrades, which was done on the original Evo, but applies just as much to the Evo 2. And I don't think it's possible to buy a new turntable with warranty for under £1,000 that performs better, certainly into a standard RCA input as opposed to a balanced one, because there is another debut which we'll be looking at that does have extra bells and whistles. But the Evo 2 just does everything so well that it scored a perfect 10, and it earned every single point of that. It's a sublime piece of kit. The Technics SL1200 GR2 best aspirational turntable actually only got 9 out of 10, Phil. Shameful. But this is a really clever example again of Technics taking a design which, let's face it, dates back 50 years and teaching it some new tricks. Delta Sigma drive, the means of getting power to that direct drive motor system. Tremendously ornate technical demonstrations on the Technics website, lots and lots of diagrams and graphs and all the rest of it. All you need to know is it works brilliantly. This is still a turntable that does all the things you would expect a 1200 to do, but it does it with more delicacy, more articulation and more poise. It still has tremendous bass. It's still built like a lorry, and it still has that absolutely iconic appearance. It's a really, really impressive product. It's so impressive that even though I expedited the SL1300 turntable, which was announced more recently, with a view to including it in the awards cycle, it didn't take very long for me to establish that actually, do you know what? No, this award is going to the 1200 GR2. So there will be a 1300 review going up onto the site. I uploaded it yesterday, but it's not eligible for this award because fundamentally, when taken as about across value and performance, its little brother is the better turntable. So that's why it scored that award. And then when I said I stopped reviewing certain categories when certain products turned up. This final effort is that with bells on. The Riga Naya, I did that as my Christmas long form review. And in the context of what we're looking for on AVForums, it is the perfect high-end turntable. It is made out of incredible materials. It is fastidiously put together. It is exotic in ways. I mean, bits of it are made out of materials you wouldn't even hazard a guess as to put onto a turntable. But it's no harder to set up and use than a planar one. It barely takes up any more space than a planar one. You can lift it in and out of where it is with one arm, and once you've plonked it back down again, it's still set up and it's good to go. The Riga offers mind-blowing performance. It is within a couple of % of my resident Vertair MG1, which is a truly astonishing bit of kit and considerably more expensive than the Naya is now. But it's an order of magnitude easier to use and set up. It is the democratization of the high end as it should be. Nothing in terms of high-end brilliance came closer, because it asks so little of you whilst being an astonishing product. So the moment that I'd reviewed that, I basically just ignored high-end turntables for the rest of the year, because I know from other things I've been testing, because obviously I do other things. No, in terms of the turntable that deserves that award on AVForums, it's the Naya, and it was always going to be the Naya. It is genuinely perfect.
And it's great that in 2024 we're still talking about vinyl and turntables.
Amazing. Yeah, and we will be next year, just so you know. So.